quiet morning at Heartland turns into chaos when an old enemy suddenly returns. Jack senses trouble the moment he sees Wes, but no one expects the storm he brings with him. And while the ranch deals with rising danger, Georgie faces a heartbreak that shakes her confidence to the core. Episode 9 is full of pain, fear, and hard choices, moments that change lives forever. Everything in Episode 9 begins with the tension left behind from the last episode. Jack has been uneasy for days, ever since he heard rumors that Wes might be coming back. Wes has a long, messy history with the Heartland family, and Jack knows that a man like him never returns without a reason. The mood at the ranch is calm on the surface, but underneath, everyone feels the shift, like something heavy is about to happen. Amy tries to focus on her horses, but even she can feel the tension in the air. Jack has been quieter than usual, pacing near the barn, checking the gates, double-checking things he normally wouldn't worry about. When Lisa asks him what's wrong, Jack gives the simplest answer: just a feeling. Whenever Jack has a feeling, it usually means trouble is close. Meanwhile, Georgie is dealing with a completely different kind of storm. She has been pushing herself hard, trying to balance her training, her dreams, and her personal life. But something hasn't been right. A message she didn't expect, a decision she didn't see coming, and everything starts to crumble for her emotionally. She tries to hide it, tries to stay strong like she always does, but the pain shows in her eyes. Heartland is a place of healing, but even the strongest hearts can break. Lou, busy with her responsibilities and plans, notices that Georgie is unusually silent during breakfast. Tim notices Jack's change in mood but brushes it off, thinking Jack is just being overprotective as usual. The ranch is busy, but underneath all the normal chores, something feels wrong. It's the kind of quiet before a storm one. Everyone senses, no one can explain. By the time the sun rises fully over the hills, Episode 9 has already set its emotional tone. A threat is coming from the outside, and heartbreak is growing on the inside. And in Heartland, these two forces are about to collide in ways that will shake the whole family. Wes doesn't just show up. Quietly, he enters Episode 9 like a shadow walking straight out of Jack's worst memories. It begins when Jack drives back from town and spots a truck parked near the end of the ranch road. At first, he thinks it belongs to a delivery driver. But when Wes steps out, the ground seems to shift beneath Jack's feet. This is the last person he ever wanted to see near Heartland again. Wes looks different, but not in a good way. There's bitterness in his eyes, a frustration that seems to burn through his skin. He tries to act calm, but anyone watching can tell he's holding something dangerous inside. Jack doesn't say a word at first. He just studies him, trying to understand why he's here and what he wants. And in that long, tense silence, it becomes clear, which didn't come back to fix anything. He came back because he's angry. Anger always leads him to trouble. When Jack finally speaks, his voice is low, controlled. He asks Wes why he's on Heartland land. Wes gives a smile that isn't really a smile at all. It's sharp, cold, and full of trouble. He says he just wants to talk, but Jack knows better. Men like Wes don't talk. Push, they provoke, and they break anything they can't control. Amy notices the truck from a distance. As she's walking a horse out of the barn, her heart tightens when she sees her grandfather standing face to face with Wes. She knows their history, and she knows Jack's patience has limits, especially with someone who's hurt the family before. Amy rushes to get closer, ready to step in if things go wrong. But she stops when she sees Jack raise a hand, slightly his silent signal telling her to stay back. Wes keeps circling around the same idea, trying to bring up old business, old grudges, old mistakes. Jack doesn't take the bait, but Wes's voice grows sharper, louder, pushing every emotional button he knows Jack has. It's like he came prepared not for a conversation, but for a fight. Every sentence feels like a spark waiting to land on something dry. The air between them turns tight, almost suffocating. The kind of tension you can feel, even if you're nowhere near them. And even though the argument hasn't exploded yet, the danger is already there, building, waiting. Something is about to break, whether it's Wes's temper or Jack's patience. Episode 9 makes one thing clear in this moment. Wes didn't return to apologize. He returned to start something. Something ugly. Something that could hurt the Heartland, its family, more than anyone realizes. The moment everything falls apart begins with a single step. Wes moves closer. Too close. And Jack instantly knows this isn't just another angry conversation. It's the start of something darker. Jack stands firm, refusing to back away from the man who has caused so much chaos in their lives. But Wes's body language is different now. He's unpredictable, like a storm about to break loose with no warning. Wes starts to shout, his words slamming through the quiet morning air. He blames Jack for everything: his failures, his losses, even problems that have nothing to do with Heartland. The more he talks, the more it becomes clear. Wes didn't come here searching for answers. He came looking for someone to hurt, and Jack is the closest target. Jack tries to stay calm, reminding Wes that he has no business here. But Wes is too far gone. His anger has taken over, and reason is nowhere in sight. He steps forward again, his face twisted with frustration. Jack tells him to leave, but that simple word, leave, pushes Wes over the edge. Then it happens, in a sudden burst. Wes grabs Jack by the shirt and shoves him back. Jack stumbles, but stays on his feet. Wes pushes again, harder this time. The violence in his movements shows he's been waiting for this moment, craving it even. Jack defends himself, trying to break free, but Wes swings, hitting him with enough force to send him to the ground. Amy screams Jack's name as she runs toward them. But the moment feels frozen. Jack lies there stunned, trying to catch his breath, while Wes stands over him, breathing hard like a man who's lost all control. His eyes aren't just angry anymore, they're wild, unstable. Dangerous Tim sees the commotion from across the yard and races toward them. His voice thunders through the ranch, telling Wes to get away from Jack. But Wes doesn't move. He doesn't apologize. He stares at Jack, as if daring him to stand up again. For a moment, it looks like he might strike again, as if hurting Jack once wasn't enough. But when Tim gets close, Wes finally steps back, lifting his hands as if he's innocent. As if he didn't just attack the man who once tried to help him. Amy kneels beside Jack, checking him for injuries, her voice shaking with fear and anger. Wes mutters something under his breath, something cold, something threatening, before walking away, leaving everyone shaken. Jack tries to push himself up, but Amy insists he stay still. His hands tremble slightly, not from weakness, but from the shock of what just happened. Even Jack, strong as he is, didn't expect Wes to cross this final line. The attack isn't just a moment of violence, it's a warning. Wes is spiraling, and now the whole family knows it. And this event sets the stage for everything that will follow in episode 9. The moments after the attack feel strangely quiet, like Heartland itself is trying to process what just happened. Jack sits on the ground, breathing slowly, trying to steady himself. The shock is written on his face, not fear, not weakness, but disbelief. Jack has seen trouble before, but this attack hits different. It's personal. It's a line Wes was never supposed to cross. Tim is furious in a way that makes everyone take a step back. He storms toward Wes, yelling at him to never return. His voice shakes with rage, but underneath that anger is fear for Jack. Tim has fought with Jack 1,000 times, but he's never seen him taken down like that. It rattles him, even if he won't admit it out loud. Amy stays kneeling beside Jack, her hands gentle but firm as she checks for injuries. She whispers to him, trying to keep her emotions steady. But the worry in her eyes says everything. She thought they had left this part of their past behind. She thought Wes was done trying to destroy what the Heartland family had built. But he's back, and he's more dangerous than ever. Lisa rushes out when she hears the shouting. The moment she sees Jack's condition, her heart sinks. She kneels beside him, holding his hand, trying to keep him calm. The fear of losing someone she loves flashes across her face, a fear she hasn't felt in a long time. Jack squeezes her hand softly, as if trying to say, "I'm all right." But even he knows things aren't all right anymore. Lou appears on the porch, frozen in place as she watches the chaos unfold. She sees Wes turning his back and walking away, not with guilt, but with the confidence of someone who believes he still has unfinished business. She immediately calls the police, her voice steady, but her hands shaking. She knows this isn't the end of it. Wes isn't leaving because he's sorry. He's leaving because he's planning his next move. As Wes drives off, dust rising behind his truck, a heavy silence settles over the ranch. Heartland has always been a place of healing, but in this episode, it feels wounded, broken, shaken in a way that cannot be ignored. Jack tries to stand, and despite Amy and Lisa supporting him, he insists he's fine. But the moment he gets on his feet, a sharp pain shoots through his side. He hides it with a stubborn smile, because that's who Jack is: strong, proud, unwilling to show weakness. But even he can't hide the truth from Amy. Wes didn't just attack him. He left a message behind, a message that says he's not done. And now the entire Heartland family realizes they're facing something bigger than a simple argument. They're facing a man who has lost control, a man who blames them for everything wrong in his life, and a man who might come back again. While the ranch deals with the shock of Wes's attack, another storm is quietly brewing inside Georgie, one that hurts just as deeply, but in a different way. Her heartbreak doesn't explode like Wes's rage. It comes quietly, slowly. It's like a shadow that grows darker every minute. Georgie has been training harder than ever, pushing herself to reach her dreams. She wants to compete again, to feel that rush of power and confidence she once had. And for a while it seemed like she was finally finding her path again, until everything changes with one message, one piece of news she never expected. She learns that the person she trusted the most, the person she thought would stay by her side, has chosen a different direction. Without her, maybe it's a breakup. Maybe it's a lost chance. Maybe it's a decision that shuts the door on something she believed in. Whatever it is, it hits her straight in the heart. The kind of pain that makes her chest ache and her eyes burn. Georgie tries to stay strong. She doesn't want to add more stress to the family, not when Jack has just been attacked and everyone is already on edge. She forces a smile during breakfast, hides the shaking in her voice, and tells Amy she's fine. But Amy knows Georgie better than that. She sees the way Georgie avoids eye contact, the way her hands tremble slightly when she brushes her hair back. This isn't the normal kind of hurts, the kind that makes her doubt herself. Later, Georgie walks out to the field where she usually trains. The world around her is quiet, but her thoughts are loud. She tries to mount her horse, but the moment she sits in the saddle, the weight inside her becomes too heavy. Her eyes fill with tears she's been trying to hold back. She jumps down quickly before anyone sees. She doesn't cry loudly, she breaks quietly. The kind of heartbreak where your shoulders shake even though you're trying hard to keep your breath steady. She leans against the fence, hiding her face in her arms. Letting the pain flow out of her in silence, Amy finds her a few minutes later. She doesn't ask what happened. She just stands beside her, offering comfort without forcing conversation. Amy knows heartbreak too well. She knows how it feels when dreams crack, when love fades, when life suddenly shifts in a direction you didn't choose. Georgie finally speaks through her tears, her voice tiny. Why wasn't I enough? A question filled with pain, confusion, and disappointment. Amy hugs her tightly, telling her the truth she needs to hear. That heartbreak doesn't mean she's not enough. It means she gave her heart to the wrong person or the wrong moment. This emotional collapse becomes a turning point. Georgie realizes that even the strongest riders can fall. But falling doesn't end a journey, it just changes the way you rise again. While Jack recovers and Georgie struggles with heartbreak, life at Heartland doesn't pause. The ranch moves forward, but every step carries a different kind of weight. Episode 9 weaves several smaller storylines together, each one reflecting the emotional chaos unfolding in the main plot. These moments may seem quiet, but they add layers of meaning to everything. Happening around them, Amy throws herself into her work with a troubled horse brought in earlier that morning. The horse is restless, skittish, and refuses to trust anyone. Normally, Amy would see this as a challenge, something she can help fix. But today, the horse mirrors her own feelings. She senses its fear, its confusion, its deep need for safety. As she works, she can't stop thinking about Jack. Every time the horse pulls away, it reminds her of how quickly life can shift from calm to dangerous. Tim, on the other hand, tries to distract himself by handling ranch tasks, but nothing feels normal. He moves with a stiff, sharp energy like he's holding something inside that could burst at any moment. Every time he looks at the spot where Wes attacked Jack, his jaw tightens. He wants to protect the family, but the truth is haunting him. He wasn't there when Jack needed him most, and that guilt eats at him more than he would ever admit. Lou is trying to balance her responsibilities with her concern for Georgie. She watches her daughter from a distance, noticing every little sign of sadness. She wants to help, wants to pull Georgie in for a hug. But she also knows heartbreak is something you can't fix with advice or rules. It is something you survive moment by moment. Still, Lou keeps checking on her, quietly, carefully. Like a mother trying to protect her child from a storm she can't control. Even Lisa finds herself dealing with her own inner struggle. She stays close to Jack, supporting him, reminding him to rest. But deep inside, she worries. She wonders what Wes might do next. The fear sticks with her like a shadow. Heartland has faced danger before, but Wes feels different, like a man with nothing left to lose. These parallel storylines create a powerful contrast. The ranch chores continue. The horses need feeding. Fences need checking. Life keeps moving, but everyone feels the disruption. Every character is fighting a personal battle. Amy battles fear. Georgie battles heartbreak. Tim battles anger and guilt. Lou battles worry. Lisa battles the fear of losing someone she loves. Episode 9 uses these smaller moments to show that pain doesn't only exist in big dramatic events. It also lives in quiet conversations, thoughtful glances, and the heaviness people carry when they think no one is watching. These storylines build the emotional tension even higher, preparing the viewers for what's coming next and reminding us that every heart at Heartland is breaking in its own way. As episode 9 reaches its final moments, Heartland feels heavier than ever. The sun begins to set across the ranch, but nothing about this day feels peaceful. The attack, the heartbreak, the fear, everything lingers, shaping the quiet tension in every corner of the property. No one says it out loud, but everyone knows it. Something has shifted. Nothing will be the same now. Jack sits in his chair by the fireplace, a place that has always brought him comfort. But tonight, even the warmth can't erase the memory of Wes's hands on him. He tries to downplay his injuries, telling Amy and Lisa he's fine. But the pain in his ribs and the strain in his voice tell a different story. Jack is strong, maybe the strongest of them all. But this attack leaves a mark far deeper than bruises. Amy stays close to him, refusing to leave his side for too long. She keeps replaying the scene in her mind, the shove, the punch, the moment Jack hit the ground. Every time she blinks, it feels like she's watching it happen again. She tells herself she'll protect him next time, but deep down, she's scared. Scared because Wes is unpredictable. Scared because he left without any real consequences. Scared because he might come back. Georgie, after her emotional collapse, sits alone at the edge of the field. The wind brushes through her hair as she tries to understand the pieces of her heart that no longer fit together. Her heartbreak still stings, but something powerful happens in this moment. She begins to breathe again. Slowly, carefully. For the first time today, she lets herself believe that pain doesn't last forever. She's broken, yes, but she's still standing. Tim walks the ranch property restlessly, checking the fences, the gates, the barnall, the places where Wes might return. He tries to convince himself that this is just routine work, but he knows the truth. He's preparing for round 2. He couldn't protect Jack earlier, but he'll be ready if Wes shows up again. Tim's anger becomes a shield, one he refuses to put down. Lou finally comes out of the house, watching her family from a distance. She sees Georgie alone, Jack resting, Amy holding her worry quietly, and Tim pacing with fire in his steps. She realizes how fragile everything is, how one person like Wes can shake their entire world. She whispers a quiet promise to herself. Heartland will stay safe, no matter what it costs. The episode ends not with a resolution, but with a warning. Wes isn't finished. His truck disappearing down the road isn't closure. It's a sign of something still brewing in the background. Something dangerous. Something personal. And just as the sky darkens, the camera settles on Jack's face. He looks out the window, eyes steady, jaw tight, and says a line that chills the entire scene. This isn't over. A simple sentence that carries a storm behind it. And with that, Episode 9 closes heavy, emotional, and full of questions that lead straight into the next episode.